Today we get a love letter from the Spire. That's right, it's February. It's time for the next update from the dev team. So let's jump right into it. The big thing we're looking at today is enchantments. In Slay the Spire 2, you may run into a new modifier to your cards called enchantments. As probably surmised from the name, enchantments are modifiers to your cards that are applied for the duration of the run. While the majority of common enchantments will give you a slight edge, the more meaningful and potentially run-defining enchantments can be discovered in rare events and things like Redacted throughout the game. So we can see here our die goes from 13 damage to everyone to 19 damage to everybody, but we lose 3 hit points after it has been. Up next for our collectors, we have Defect and Watcher Tunes collections available. You can check the Slay the Spire Discord to find that. And there are also, as of today, an official Slay the Spire keyboard collection that is launching. Also available are these really cool desk mats that would work as great play mats for those of you who have the board game. We get a sneak peek at last month's Who's That Pokemon of the Spire, and they call it Nibbit. There's a little spider creature here you can guess on for next month. And finally, there's some upcoming Q&A for Slay the Spire 2. The devs have compiled a list of questions that all of us have submitted. So we have Casey and Anthony being the two main founders of the original Spire, and we get some answers today. What did you learn from making dancing duelists, and how did those lessons manifest in Slay the Spire 2? For everyone who didn't know, Megacrit released Dancing Duelists, a deck building auto battler back in October 2023. Slay the Spire 2 hadn't yet been announced, and they were considering an engine switch for a host of reasons. They made it in 3 weeks using the Godot engine. None of them had developed in before. It was a technical exploration to assess the viability of switching from Unity, which is what they had used before, to Godot. They learned the most that Godot seems like a viable game engine, but for more details around the situation and learnings from that project, there is a blog post available on the topic. Next, will Clash return in Slay the Spire 2? No. Next question, will there be a sell feature at the Merchant and Slay the Spire 2? No, there will not. How is the music design involved in the development of the game? For example, is a boss's design created first and the music track made based on that vibe? Or is it any different for making music for rooms and acts? Additionally, why does the Merchant's theme in the full soundtrack have a huge portion that isn't used in game? This coming from their composer. In my book, music is support and serves the gameplay, so I'm absolutely looking for ways to write the soundtrack based on the vibe of the boss, environment, etc. A good example of this is the Corrupt Heart boss fight from Slay the Spire, where the music had pulsating heartbeat motifs to echo the boss's design. And Slay the Spire 2, they are aiming to take a step further with dynamic music to have the music adapt as the gameplay and situations you find yourself in change. And the differences between the axe music and boss fight music, at its most broad, it's a feeling of intensity and scale. We've all definitely died enough to enemies while moving up the map, so the threat level needs to feel present as you're climbing, but when you reach the boss, that threat level needs to feel like it's amped. That amping can be found in the orchestration, harmonies, tempo, and restating motifs found in the main act music in new ways. As you'll have seen in the gameplay trailer, the Merchant is back with some lovely new digs, so you can expect new arrangements of that extended version on all your shopping sprees this time around. That's it for this month's update on Slay the Spire. I'll showcase our community roundup while you all type caw and give this a like in the comments to spread to more people. Thank you all. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.